neighbor, you're so close. You're so close to the truth. If the truth were a planet's surface, your trajectory was just off, just enough that you bounced off the atmosphere and didn't get in. And I don't really blame you, because we have been conditioned by society and that stupid box you're talking about for over 100 years to believe that tuberculosis thin is the ideal body weight, and that if you have not been able to achieve that body weight, then it absolutely must mean that you do not have the self-control necessary to be able to deprive yourself of specific sets of nutrients for long enough for your body to give up the weight. The real irony here is that it takes about 5 minutes of one fat person being in a gym to prove who's really lacking in self-control. It's the people who cannot help themselves and absolutely must come dashing over to correct your form or tell you what a good job you're doing, keep it up, or body shame you, or look at you like that, or take videos of the disgusting fat person. Or my personal favorite is when you get up off the equipment and you sanitize and everything, and then they dramatically come up and they sanitize it twice as much as normal because you must have made it more disgusting. Those are the people that are lacking in self-control. The people that cannot even help themselves and just have to tell us fat people how fat we are. And the body positivity movement, I understand how confusing that is for you, because, I mean, it really, really is. We've been conditioned for so long to think that if someone is fat, then they must be stupid, unhealthy, and should be ashamed of themselves. And now nearly half the population are starting to wake up and say, hey, wait a second, this is the body I have. And I'm not stupid, and I don't deserve to have clothing that are so uncomfortable and makes me look even worse than I already do. And hey, you bullies, you're the ones that need to develop some self-control here. I'm just trying to exercise. I'm just trying to do what's healthy for my body. And here's a real newsflash. Like, sometimes in the journey to become healthy, when you start doing the things that are right for your body, making sure your body gets at least 25 grams of fiber per day, and making sure that you get a nice mix of nutrients in your body every week, you know. Sometimes in that journey to become healthy, you might gain a little weight. Sometimes in that journey to become healthy, you'll lose a little weight too. Sometimes your weight won't be affected at all. And you might be able to make your cholesterol numbers go way down while you're not losing a single pound. Weight is not the measure of health that so many people would like to pretend it is. It is one measure amongst thousands, and it's not even that good of a predictor. And don't worry for my mental health. I'm really not trying to get through to this guy here, because he has clearly swallowed all the Kool-Aid that stupid box has been giving us for the last 100 years. I think he's a lost cause probably, but I would like to take a minute to talk about this article. They did a study recently we really did a research on several other studies that had been done that proves that venting may not reduce your anger. And in some cases, it could increase your anger level. They studied a bunch of studies with a bunch of different kinds of participants representing a variety of ages, genders, cultures, and ethnicities. And the findings show that the key to curbing anger is reducing physiological arousal from anger itself or from the otherwise possibly beneficial physical activity that the anger might inspire. To reduce anger, it's better to engage in activities that decrease arousal levels, despite what popular wisdom may suggest. Even going for a run is not an effective strategy because going for a run increases arousal levels and ends up being counterproductive. Now, I'm probably going to make a whole other video about this at some point, but the paragraph that got cut off there was talking about cognitive behavioral therapies and how those are effective for some people in decreasing arousal levels, but they're not effective for all brain types. And then it goes on to talk about the study examined both arousal increasing and arousal reducing activities from boxing, cycling, jogging, deep breathing, meditating, yoga, etc. Calming activities reduced anger in the lab and in the field and across other variables like methods of instruction or participant demographics. If effective arousal reducing activities included slow yoga, mindfulness, progressive muscle relaxation, diaphragmatic breathing, and taking a timeout. By the way, this is not the timeouts our parents used to inflict on us. This is taking a timeout for yourself. It was really interesting to see that progressive muscle relaxation and just relaxation in general might be as effective as approaches such as mindfulness and meditation. And yoga, which can be more arousing than meditation and mindfulness, is still a way of calming and focusing your breath that has a similar effect in reducing anger. So to my mutuals, when you see comments like this, it might be a really good idea for you to take a few deep breaths, maybe do some square breathing. And I can do a whole video about square breathing if that helps you in some. And then feel free to address the pieces of whatever you've been told that you feel like you can do without creating more anger in your system.